Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. Does anybody else out there feel like Vince McMahon chose to punish the people of Cincinnati since he can't punish Dean Ambrose anymore, and he made waves on the internet as Jon Moxley, showing the world how he broke free from the prison and the garbage and the trash and the dumpster fire that is Monday Night Raw and the WWE as a whole on a weekly basis. Vince McMahon comes out there tonight, proclaims himself a genius, a fucking genius, and then goes on for 3 hours to prove that to be 100% false. When you come out there and institute a new rule, a wildcard rule that erases everything that we have done for the last 3 weeks, and then fail to be able to explain it coherently, fumbling and bumbling like a 70-year-old retard in the middle of the ring, not being able to say the simplest of lines, and failing to explain what this whole thing is about. You started it one way, oh, we're going to have 3 guys and 3 guys, and then by the end of the show, you change the rule altogether, and then you want to call yourself a fucking genius? You are not a genius, my friend. You are a fucking moron. The wild card rule is in effect, and it has done nothing but make everything worse. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Monday Night Raw review right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
WildCard, bitches! Yeah!
Okay, gang. And in case you never realized why we start this show with an Ayo, that's because we're huge. It's always sunny in Philadelphia, fans. That's how I greet my closest friends, and that is what I consider each and every one of you guys. Thank you all so very much for joining us tonight on our weekly commencement of the hammering of this fucking company. Are you kidding me with this show? I have not been so just confused and made angry and bored as I've been tonight in probably ever. This was most likely the worst Monday Night Raw I have ever seen. I've seen a lot of people on social media going, oh, this is a great episode of Smackdown. Oh, that's all you got? That's what your brain power can come up with? Sure. Yeah, it's obvious. The better part of everything that happened tonight was only in the main event, which featured 2 SmackDown Live superstars. The Monday Night Raw main event, Monday Night Raw tonight, was headlined by 2 SmackDown Live superstars. How does that happen? How is that happening? Well, because Vince McMahon has lost his fucking mind. He made us sit through 3 weeks of an ongoing superstar shakeup where all kinds of moves were made that made absolutely no sense to begin with. Nothing really impactful. Nothing that was really going to change the state of the WWE. But then you go and effectively undo it all by instituting a fucking wild card rule? A wild card rule.
WildCard, bitches! Yeah!
Are you fucking kidding me? Take your wild card and shove it up your ass. All you did was blur the lines of the shakeup and the brand split. Just end the goddamn brand split. If you cannot effectively book 2 separate rosters and get your talent over and make new superstars and create interesting stories and make things that are compelling, then just scrap it and be one company again. Now, there's a real big negative that comes with that, which is that we're just going to be overexposed with everybody. You see what they're doing with Becky Lynch. You see now what they're doing with fucking Roman Reigns, and we're just overexposing them. As much as I hated Roman Reigns' move to SmackDown Live, I was very, very happy to know that he wasn't going to be on fucking Monday anymore. But now that nothing matters. Nothing matters. And if you needed proof, if you needed concrete proof that this show is not pre-planned, is not written days ahead of time, that they don't give a shit about what they're going to put forth, then you look no further than tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. You cannot tell me that they have any of this shit planned out. This was as well planned out as they planned out the shakeup. Just random moves, not being able to wrap everything up in one night, continuing a supposedly one-night shakeup over the course of 3 weeks, placing teams here, putting teams there. And now, it is all for what? Oh, well, it's not going to be everybody. Why? Why are we going to choose 4 people? Is it going to be the same 4 fucking people every week? Is it going to be a revolving door of talent that this week we're going to have Roman Reigns twice, next week we're going to have Lacey Evans twice, and we're going to see fucking Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley, Boring Trashley, the almighty fucking milk dud on Smackdown Live and Monday Night Raw every week? I can't take him even once a fucking week. You're going to put him on TV twice a fucking week and I have to deal with this shit? I have to look at Constable Baron Corbin, dickhead, over and over and over, as if he's not already a bane of my existence. How can you think that this is going to work? How can you think that this is going to change anything? You're just making yourself look like an even bigger moron than the public already perceives you to be. And then you want to go out there and start this show. That's the best way. That's always the best way to kick off a fucking show for wrestling. Let's start it off with a Mcmahon, right? And he wants to come out and tell you about his fucking rule, and he can't explain it. He can't explain it, and it's all because Roman Reigns wanted to come to Monday Night Raw. One fucking guy wants to come to Monday Night Raw, and now we're going to institute a fucking wild card. 3 fucking superstars, 3 superstars from this one, 3 superstars from that one. And when this doesn't work, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go next? You already called up as many fucking people as you can from NXT, and you already dissolved half of them into fucking nothing, maybe more than half of them. What are you going to do now? What's your next step? Wild card. It makes no fucking sense to even do this, especially given that the shakeup just finished. That would be like doing the shakeup and then just saying, oh, you know what, this week we decided we're just going to fucking reset everything back to the way it was. We don't care. That's essentially what you did. Nothing on this show mattered. Not one fucking thing. And I cannot help but believe that he did this intentionally to the hometown of Dean Ambrose. Cincinnati, Ohio was punished tonight by having to sit there live for this bullshit. And you and I were punished. Sitting at home in the comforts of our home where we're supposed to be safe and secure and as happy as we possibly can be. And we're sitting there being slaughtered, essentially, by a 70-year-old psychopath. We called him a sociopath when they wanted to throw that word around in the Firefly Funhouse, but the fact of the matter is the man is a psychopath. He cannot even perform in the ring anymore. Now, I sit here with you guys every week, and I can tell you right off the bat, it's not easy to be a performer. It's not easy to get up on a microphone. Some of you guys know that firsthand as well. And things go wrong that sometimes you can't account for. But when you can't fucking go out there and deliver simple copy, simple fucking lines, regardless of whether they make sense, Vince McMahon had no idea what the fuck he was talking about with this wild card. And gave us that regular Vince every time he's on the mic. Well, what about this? And we'll have 3 guys. And no, wait, we'll do this. I'm so tired of seeing it. Somebody has got to grow a set of fucking balls in the back and tell this old man that his time is up. His time is up in the ring as a character on screen. His time is up as the head fucking person in this company. And tonight can prove all of that. If you were unfortunate enough to sit there for 3 hours like me and ingest this filth, how did you feel when it was over? Did you feel like we took any steps in a positive direction? Did you feel excited at all tonight? Were you happy to get WrestleMania rematches? Oh, we're gonna shake things up. We're gonna get fresh matchups, new feuds. Never before seen type stuff. And what do we get tonight? 2 WrestleMania rematches, one of which we didn't want to fucking see in the first place. We didn't want to see Roman versus Drew the first time. We don't want to fucking see it again. We've seen Roman Reigns in the ring with Drew McIntyre almost every week since the man's returned. And every week before he left. And now that's what you got tonight? A WrestleMania rematch. I didn't give two shits. That was a bathroom break for me when I was at WrestleMania 35, and it was a bathroom break for me tonight. I had to go inside and throw up. Because this show was making me sick. Physically ill. Just watching the maneuvers that this old man is trying to pull the wool over our eyes and just get what he wants. Using Roman Reigns and giving him lines to make him seem like a man of the people. Well, you promised all these people that you and your little sibling... what did he fucking call them? Not you and your fucking kids, right? That you and your kids are not the authority anymore. Well, that's not true. The crowd couldn't give two shits. And if you're going to tell me that since he's come back, that first week, maybe that second week, Roman Reigns was getting a little bit of a reaction. But at this point in time, you're going to tell me you don't hear that same familiar nothingness littered with plenty of booze and all the high-pitched children's screams. That's not being over. Everybody's glad he's back. We're glad he's healthy. But you haven't fucking changed him a bit. You moved him over to another show. You didn't even let the man fucking get a haircut. You didn't change his look. You didn't change his attitude. You didn't change his alignment. If anybody would benefit from a fucking heel run, it would be Roman Reigns. And what don't we have on fucking wrestling, especially in the WWE? We don't have good heels. You want a good... I think the man would be a great fucking villain. Especially given the amount of hate and the way people want to hate him. Because of the constant shoving down our throats of the big dog's cock. Because Vince can't have it up his ass. He's going to shove it down our throats. It doesn't make any sense to me. We're going to start off this new thing doing something different. What was different? What was different? We had the same exact opening to Monday Night Raw. We had a Mcmahon come out, and then we had 35 minutes. 35 minutes of wrestler after wrestler coming out, putting their 2 cents in. Smackdown superstars are just popping up out of the fucking woodwork. Drew McIntyre, for some reason, decides to stick his fucking gigantic neck out there. And for what reason? And what the hell was Roman Reigns' unfinished fucking business? He talked all week, I got some unfinished business. What was his unfinished business? We still don't know. They mentioned it 3 or 4 times. His unfinished business was to have a WrestleMania rematch. His unfinished business was just to talk to Vince McMahon for a few minutes at the beginning of this show. What was his fucking business? This opening segment was atrocious. 35 minutes of blah, blah, blah. Trying to explain a rule that they don't even understand. And you got AJ Styles coming out there, putting his 2 cents in towards the end of this thing, which leads to Seth Rollins getting involved. AJ Styles continues to tease the club. He's like, oh, I got a few friends on Smackdown Live that I might be bringing over here with me. First of all, that's not the club. The club was at Monday Night Raw. They are on Monday Night Raw. They're not part of SmackDown Live anymore. They were standing out there in the middle of the ring while the Revival were embarrassed for the fucking world to see because they turned down a $500,000 a year contract over the next 5 years. And this is what happens when you say no. This is what happens when you don't fall in line. You get put into one of the fucking worst and most ridiculous fucking segments I've ever seen. Sitting there scratching your ass and your balls and your trunks on national television from using Uzi Hot. Uzi Hot. Uzi Hot. Talk about a fucking wild card. There's fucking a wild. What the fuck is an Uzi Hot? Oh, you're supposed to drink it, Oos. Then why would it come in a fucking tin like that where you usually put topical creams? Next time I seen a fucking drink, it looked like this. In a bottle similar to something like this. You hold it and you fucking sip it. You don't take a fucking disc and drink out of it. There's been so many little segments like that throughout the history of time in wrestling that, you know, you're like, all right, I see what they're doing here. They're doing the comedy shtick. They're bringing out the New Day in the Usos, right? They're doing all this bullshit that doesn't matter and is all played for laughs. But when it comes to the tag team division, this is no time for laughs. And this is no laughing matter. You have a failing tag team division, and you got two of the best tag teams in all of professional wrestling right now in the Usos and the Revival putting fucking burning itch cream in each other's trunks. This is the state of professional wrestling. That's only one of many fucking things that we are going to outline as we continue to talk about everything wrong with Monday Night Raw. I didn't give a shit about anything that happened in the first fucking whole hour. This was probably the worst first hour in the history of Monday Night Raw, because after all the fucking yada yada bullshit, they want to put AJ Styles and Seth Rollins in a tag team. Like, that's so original. It's such a tired trope. Oh, well, let's take the two opponents and team them up. How many times have we seen this over the last couple of months? Why would the fucking challenger and the champion need to coexist? Why would you put them in a situation where they are forced to coexist? It's just stupid to begin with. And why would they even agree to this? I'm not going to fucking be a team with this jerk off. I'm coming after his belt. I want what he's got. I'm going to stand next to him and try to fucking win this match. For what? You don't even give a reason for them to win this match. Give them something to fight for. Put AJ Styles' fucking title shot on the line. And then you have a reason for him to want to coexist with Seth Rollins and try to be victorious over Bobby Lashley and Constable Dickhead. Oh my God. You got this whole thing set up, and this is the fucking team. This is the formidable team that Vince McMahon has chosen. They are the worst fucking team, maybe of all the teams, and that's really saying something, because we got some bad fucking teams happening right now, and we could talk more about that on tomorrow night's Smackdown live review, because it will come up again. We are a company with no fucking legit tag teams, and we are going to take two people that nobody likes, nobody wants to see, have absolutely zero interest from most of the crowd, if not all of the crowd. We're going to team them together. We're going to put them against AJ and Seth. And what do you think is going to happen? Automatically you assume, well, you know, AJ and Seth, they got the fucking Universal Champion and a former WWE Champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles, and the Kingslayer, the Beast Slayer. And they fucking lose? They fucking lose this match? All to cause tension that's already there? AJ Styles and Seth Rollins over the last week have already amped it up on their own. They didn't need something like this. This match doesn't need extra. Two premier talents. Both could be made a case for being a couple of the absolute best in the business right now. And you need to book them like this? Absolutely fucking terrible. And this match was given way too much time. I thought AJ and Seth were going to wrap this up in half the time that we were put through this match. By the time this match was over, I was already emotionally dead. Because you gave me almost 40 minutes of just talking and talking and talking, and then you followed it up by putting two people on the screen that nobody wants to see. And the amount of commercials during this fucking show tonight was astronomical. I don't know if it's just because my tolerance was lowered, or if it's because they put a whole lot more ads into this fucking show. Because they got to make their money. That's their scapegoat. Oh, we're making money. We're printing money. Fuck that. Do you know how much more money you'd be making if the program was actually good? If the superstars were actually over? I'm not saying you gotta cater to the fans and their every whim, but if you give us just a little niblet of some of the stuff that we want, we could stomach some of this other shit that you want to give us. Those days are gone, people. Vince McMahon's a fucking genius. In his own fucking mind. And we are the victims of his madness. Then we go talking about the fucking Miz and Shane McMahon and Bobby Lashley from last week. And immediately following this, because nobody wants to see any of that either, we get Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's about to come out here and put us all to sleep with his I hate the fans bullshit and we're not worthy and we're this and we're that. And what did I ask you guys last week? I said, can we please point this guy into some direction, somebody else's direction, so that we could get some good matchups out of Sami Zayn? And what do we get to come out to stop Sami Zayn's verbal tirade? We get Brown Spray Tan. Oh, no, I'm sorry. His name is Braun Strowman. Guy needs to take it easy in the fucking tanning beds. Or at least use a different fucking setting if he's getting sprayed down. Because the guy just looked like a big fucking brown oak tree. He moves like a big brown oak tree. Can you see how agile Braun Strowman is? Who gives a fuck about Braun Strowman anymore? You think he's gonna get over by beating Sami Zayn up? A man half his size, the man that's the heel in the scenario. Why would you want a giant-sized doofus to squash somebody with talent? Because that's the direction in which we're going. We've seen this already. WWE going back to the fucking same old cookie jar. Well, we don't know what to do. We're going to just do this again. If anything, you reverse the roles. Braun Strowman, the unstoppable, uncontrollable monster of a man. And Sami Zayn, the fan favorite, the underdog, the David versus Goliath. That is the route with these particular body types and these particular superstars. But you flip-flopped it, and now it makes no sense because Braun Strowman just looks like a bully. What reason does Braun Strowman even have to come out there and shut up Sami Zayn? Did something happen between them that we're unaware of? Why are we getting this segment? Because they're fucking lazy and uncreative. And they're just phoning it in week after fucking week. And this week may have been the worst that I've truly seen. After a fucking year of us saying every week, this is the worst Raw ever. This, I think, might actually be the worst Monday Night Raw ever produced. You want more proof? The Lucha House Party. The Lucha House Party gets a 6-man tag against 3 fucking nobodies. 3 nobodies. First of all, we don't need a 6-man tag. Second, we don't need to see all 3 members of Lucha House Party be involved in a matchup. Third, why aren't they being booked in a tag team capacity? Take 2 of them, you have the other one out there as the manager, just like you did with the New Day. You already got them walking around like a couple of fucking jokes. They got piñatas and they got fucking sombreros and all kinds of Mexican paraphernalia. Just like the New Day's got the fucking pancakes and the fucking unicorns and rainbows and trumpets. It's the same act, but in a different heritage. So just book it that way then. There's nothing special about the Lucha House Party. You throw them out there fighting against 3 fucking ding-dongs. Who gives a shit? Did you think they were going to lose to those 3 idiots? Discount fucking Sheamus and his 2 buddies? Get the fuck out of here. Awful. Ricochet versus Robert Roode. And Ricochet's putting his money in the bank on the line. First thing that immediately pops into my mind is, for what fucking reason would Ricochet take the chance and risk losing an opportunity to grab the Money in the Bank briefcase? For what reason? Does he feel bad for Robert Roode? I certainly do. Especially after this match. Not that I wanted Robert Roode to defeat Ricochet and take him out of the match, because I absolutely did not want that. But the WWE goes out of their way to repackage Robert Roode. He's no longer Bobby Roode. He's still coming out with the robe, but he's got his ridiculous Tom Selleck fucking porn star mustache. And he actually got a little hype. For the first week, everybody was like, what the fuck is up with Bobby Roode? He's Robbie Roode now. He's got this stash, and he's got a little bit of an edge to him, and he goes out there and he beats Ricochet. Holy shit! I wasn't happy that Ricochet took the loss, but holy shit! I was a little bit excited. Maybe we're going to see a resurgence of an NXT or TNA style Bobby Roode, which was a great version of Bobby Roode. But what did we get tonight? Ricochet just extinguishing him. Now for the second time, it's 50-50 booking. One guy wins one week, one guy loses the next week, and now the other guy wins, and now Ricochet went up. And Ricochet wins this matchup. And you went through all this trouble, and you're booking Bobby Roode as a fucking loser still. You might as well have just kept him with Chad Gable and let him get pins that way. At least it wouldn't have damaged his second wind, his new life that he seemingly had in the WWE, and now it's already dead. Before it could even get started. So many people, he could be a new ravishing Rick Rude. He could be doing this. He could be doing that. And you know what he's doing? He's counting the fucking lights. He's counting the fucking lights while his shoulders are on the mat. Because that's where he's been since he's been on the main roster. But the whole match itself just didn't make any sense to be happening. Did Robert Roode approach him and say some shit to him backstage? Did he challenge him to this opportunity? We don't know because we don't see these things. They don't have time to film vignettes anymore. They don't have time to do anything worth our time. They're just going to throw the match out there, have Michael Cole fail to fucking explain everything. Renee Young sitting there sounding like a fucking bird. Ooh, 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 ooh. And Corey Graves, I don't know if I missed this over the last couple of weeks, but did anybody notice the fucking guy's bald now? What happened to his little fucking coif, bouffant, pompadour fucking thing that he used to have going on there? Anyway, I'm getting straight on the topic here. Ricochet beats Robert Roode, stays in the Money in the Bank ladder match, so it was all for nothing. You had this match just to have Bobby Roode lose. Why? Back from the break, Natalya is with Naomi in the locker room. They have invitations from Bam Bam. I'm a waste of life. Bam. I cannot wrestle. I throw a right hand. And that's all I do. Bam Bam. Lacey Evans invited all these ladies to be at ringside for her match tonight. Are you excited for this? Lacey Evans is going to have a match. Who's it going to be against? Is it going to be against somebody from fucking Smackdown? Is it going to be against one of the ladies on the active roster? No. It's going to be against Jane Jumpshit. Or whatever the fuck her name was. Another enhancement fucking talent. 2 matches tonight where a fucking superstar that nobody gives a shit about are being put in rings against enhancement talents. Lacey Evans hits this broad with a fucking right hand and it's all over. And the rest of the girls are just standing out there. You got Alexa standing there. The human sausage, Dana Brooke, is standing there with her dick lips. Naomi and Natty. Everybody's just standing out there, arms crossed, watching her go. Gives a fuck. And this match was uber short. Rightfully so, because nobody knew who the fuck this girl was, nor did we care. All for Becky Two Belts to come running out and pick up where we left off with Lacey Evans last week. The brawl continues. And I'm asking you if you give a shit. Because I don't give a shit about Lacey Evans. What has she done that you think gives her any reason to be in the main program on Monday Night Raw? What, she wears good outfits? She's got a catchy theme song. What is it? For me, it's nothing. Her value is 0. She has earned nothing. She has proved nothing. And she's getting a WWE Championship matchup at Money in the Bank. What a fucking load of shit. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Let's scroll down here. Now we get to Samoa Joe. The announcers show us everything that happens between Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio, and then we cut backstage to Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Why the fuck is Dominic still on this show? Where is this leading? Is Samoa Joe gonna wrap him up and choke this kid out? If I was Samoa Joe, I would be fucking scared of Dominic. If I was Rey Mysterio, I wouldn't be bringing my fucking son to TV because he's towering over me, looking like fucking Walter standing over my shoulder. And then Samoa Joe gets in this kid's face. They're like standing eye to eye. Almost. The kid looks like a fucking 10-year-old trapped in a 20-year-old's body. I don't understand. Is he going to become a wrestler? Is he going to NXT? Did we bring him back for sentimental value? Is he back so that they can use Eddie Guerrero's name like they did tonight? Why is he still there? I understand he's supporting his dad, but his dad wasn't even in action tonight. And last time I checked, family members are always at ringside, right? They're sitting in the arena. Sure, they come backstage once in a while, but why is he always with him? Where is the end game going to be? Do you want to see Samoa Joe wrap this kid up? He's got a baby face. You feel bad for him just looking at him because he's just so pure and innocent. Yet still kind of scary because he's so fucking big. But why is he here? So Samoa Joe has somebody to play off of? Just let fucking Joe tear apart Rey Mysterio. What the fuck does his kid have to do with it? I don't want to see any of this. This is a waste of time. This is what you get when you got people that used to write for The Bachelor and used to write for ABC sitcoms and USA Network fucking shows. This is the type of shit you get. Melodrama that doesn't land because it has no place in wrestling. Why does Samoa Joe need Dominic to take a message to Rey Mysterio? Samoa Joe would go right to his face and tell him himself. Lacey Evans versus Ali Katrina. Who? Ali Katrina. Who? Does this victory give her fucking carte blanche? Does this victory give her precedence over everybody else? She beat fucking Ali Katrina? A girl with 2 fucking first names? Get the fuck out of here. After the match, we had the brawl, like we said. One of the best parts of the night, and as always, one of the best parts of professional wrestling in the WWE right now is the former WWE champion Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is backstage. He is pacing uncontrollably. He says Kofi Kingston's constant shilling as the WWE champion of pancakes and merchandise and consumerism is a threat to our existence. And that's why he has no choice but to eliminate Kofi as our role model. And he goes on to rant more and more, saying Kofi's just faking it. He's not really a champion, and Bryan is here to fix history and continue to become what he was born to be, which is the planet's champion. I loved it. Because Daniel Bryan is the best promo in wrestling right now. If anybody understands his character and understands how to get under people's skin, it's fucking Daniel Bryan. Phenomenal fucking promo out of the former Yes Man. And then we go right back into the fucking trash heap, you guys. The WWE Tag Team Champions of Monday Night Raw, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, the most I don't give a shit team in the longest time. I really don't give a shit. You gave the fans no reason to invest in this team. You've barely featured them in a prominent light. You didn't even give them an entrance tonight. You had the fucking Viking Experience Warrior Raiders coming out there doing their whole fucking berserker bushwhacker thing. They did the whole intro. Then they cut to commercial and we come back and the champs are in the ring. We didn't even get to see them with the belts. They're already in the ring, in their corner, waiting for the bell. What kind of respect is that to your champions? How is that showing prestige for the championship titles? You're not even showing the world, sitting at home, the champs coming out and doing their thing. Being proud to hold the titles. Absolutely disrespectful. This match was a very quick matchup as well. The Viking Raider Experienced Warrior Heads, Ivar and Eric, defeat with ease Hawkins and Ryder. After being here for a month and beating virtually nobody, these guys get a non-title matchup with the tag team champions, get the victory, and now it's only a matter of time before they take the belts off of Ryder and Hawkins. What good are the belts even doing on them? If I were in the Viking Raider Warriors, I wouldn't want to even be the fucking tag team champions. Those belts mean nothing. They're garbage. And since you want to fucking merge everything and wildcard everything, why don't you fucking merge the tag team divisions? So that we don't have to have random fucking pairings as tag teams. Just a thought. Just a thought. Back from the break, we get a new Firefly Funhouse segment. Oh, fucking joy. And the longer this goes on, the less and less patient I am becoming. Yes, alright, I see the little nuances. I see the flickering images, and I see the twisted verbiage. But I don't think I have the patience. Monday Night Raw is so bad, on such a consistent level, that the Firefly Funhouse and anything special that you guys might be feeling from it, it's not penetrating. I don't feel it. Is it intriguing? Mildly. You got a fucking vulture, you got a buzzard head in a box that looks like a fucking prototype from Jim Henson's fucking Muppet Palace of the Dark Crystal. Remember the Skeksis? That's on Netflix now if you haven't seen it, by the way. That's why it's in my head. I just watched it the other day. It's way more worth your fucking time. It's a 1982, really, and it's very reminiscent of the time. The effects are very bad. Everything is done practically. There's not very much visual effects because it's Jim Henson, right? So it's 80s stuff, and it's really campy, and it's really bad, but I would rather watch that on a loop for 4 fucking days than have to sit through another 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. And you know what? I would actually fucking enjoy that because I love that movie. I love that movie in my childhood as much as I love pro wrestling. I wish I could say the same now. Mercy the Buzzard. Looking like Lord Chamberlain. In a fucking box. This guy eats fucking Rambling Rabbit. His puppets are eating each other. This is in a segment that has a bunch of fucking kids sitting there, and I guarantee you the screen that they gave these kids to look at is like, hey, listen, just watch tonight's show. Watch that screen. You see that TV screen? We're going to broadcast Monday Night Raw live. I just want you guys to watch Monday Night Raw and don't pay attention to the crazy Bray man behind you. Just watch Raw and we're going to film your reactions. And we want you to be excited. We want you to be happy. This is the Firefly Funhouse, so let's get it. And then they put Monday Night Raw on and you got all fucking 9 little comatose faces. Just the net. You ever want to know what you look like watching Monday Night Raw? It was those kids. Talk about looking in a mirror. I felt like every one of those little kids that we seen in the Firefly Funhouse. Mercy the Buzzard eats Rambling Rabbit. And what happens? Nothing. It's picnic time. You know, I'm normally accepting of the weird, like I said. And I wanted to put this Firefly Funhouse on a shelf, let it marinate a little bit, and let's see where it comes. And if we could pull out a nice, delicious entree that everybody enjoys at the end, then fantastic. But I think it's going to just become a hot fucking mess. I know it's only been the 3rd installment, but there's really no clear-cut direction. And it's just more of the same old Bray Wyatt. Just instead of being in a fucking forest, he's on the set of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Next. Winner by DQ, Roman Reigns. What makes seeing a rematch between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre even worse? Adding Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon. Another guy coming over from Smackdown Live. So now we're already over the number 3 limit that was installed by Vince McMahon at the start of this thing. Now here's Shane O'Mac. What, is he on both shows automatically just because he's a McMahon? Or isn't he contractually obligated to SmackDown Live? But no, he's showing up to come and beat up Roman Reigns. And then who comes to make the save? The Miz. And we're carrying fucking storylines over from one show to the other. Now, Shane has got two people that are pissed at him on this one show. The Miz ends up getting involved, saving Roman Reigns from Elias and Shane McMahon. I don't fucking care about any of this, that's for sure. These are two storylines. Three storylines that are intertwining, and all three of them suck, and putting them all together makes the amount of suctitude too much to fucking handle. Later on, right after this segment, Shane McMahon goes running trying to get out of the building. Charlie Caruso's chasing him, asking him all kinds of stupid questions. He's not answering. He makes his way to his limousine, and then there's The Miz. Like fucking Freddy Krueger, man, or like Jason Voorhees. The man was behind him, and now all of a sudden he was there at his car, and he hit him with a fucking steel chair, and who cares? Who cares? This whole fucking story should have been wrapped up. And if you wanted to move him on to Roman Reigns, fine, do that. But that's not what's happening. Everything is everywhere, and it's fucking awful. Just as awful as this next fucking segment we're going to talk about. The Revival versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. I already touched upon this at the beginning. Before this match could even get started, the Usos come out. They got fucking Usi hot cream drink, or whatever the fuck it is. Supposed to make you feel good. Supposed to do your body good. But the Revival put it on their fucking trunks or rubbed it on their junk. Rubbed it up their assholes. Maybe they were telling the Usos what they think about the WWE. Yeah, give me some of this fucking cream. And then they scooped it up and just shoved it right up their ass. Yeah, here's what you can do with your fucking Uzi hot. And then they go out to the fucking ring. And it works exactly like Icy Hot. It gets fucking burny. It gets itchy. And now the two top guys are sitting there scratching their fucking bottoms and their balls, looking like two fucking clowns on Monday Night Raw, and you cannot, there's not one of you that could defend this angle to me, and you cannot deny that this was fucking punishment. This was punishment by the WWE. You don't want to take our fucking money? You don't want to stay here and play with us? You don't want to do what we say? You're going to go out there and we're going to make you look like fucking buffoons. Don't think that's a possibility? Ask Triple H about how Vince McMahon deals when things don't go his way. A certain Hunter Hearst Helmsley was repeatedly punished on the air for the actions of his friends. Because he couldn't get Kevin Nash and he couldn't get Scott Hall because they left. Shawn Michaels was the champion. He's not going to mess with the champ. He's not going to mess with his golden boy. So low man on the totem pole, Triple H, got stuck in hog pen matches, embarrassing segments with chicks. Not little chickens, like women chicks from back in the 90s. Getting slapped around by Sable and Mark Merrow and losing to Henry Godwin. Getting facefuls of slop. And you're going to tell me that this isn't that? 70-year-old man who acts like a fucking 12-year-old. You're going to tell me he's not going to be spiteful and do something like that? We had Kofi Kingston backstage responding to Daniel Bryan. Kofi Kingston was fired up. He actually gave a pretty good promo here, but telling everybody that he's going to send Daniel Bryan back to complaining and back where he came from, and he will know why Kofi Kingston is a WWE champion by the time this night's up. Fine, whatever. Then we go to the ring, and No Way Jose is coming out. Apparently he's going to have a match against nobody, because there's nobody in the ring, and he's just coming out there. And he's dancing with his fucking conga morons. And then Lars Sullivan comes out. SmackDown Live guy number 5 on the night. Lars Sullivan comes out, destroys the conga line, and then destroys Jose. And I'm thinking to myself, no way do I give a shit about this. See what I did there? Lars Sullivan's back on Monday Night Raw after being officially moved to SmackDown Live to beat up No Way Jose. and then go to the back and get into a verbal thing. I wouldn't say verbal because Lars didn't say a fucking word, but you got Vince in the back on a fucking cell phone trying to still explain the rules of this fucking wild card shit, and changes it from 3 men to 4 men based on the fact that Lars Sullivan is standing before him and he was about to impose some sort of a punishment to people who don't adhere to the 3-person rule. And he's like, oh, well, you know what, we'll make it 4. We'll make it 4. And then Lars Sullivan walks out as if that's all he wanted. Did he fucking know that that's what Vince was on the phone talking about? Is that what he wanted from Vince? I need you to make the trade rule 4 so that I could come. 4! What? Back from the break. Again, we get the WWE title match. Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston. This was a decent match. This was a good main event. It's just funny to me that it had absolutely nothing to do with Monday Night Raw, if you think about it. It's the SmackDown Live WWE Champion versus his number 1 contender from the same brand on the show that they're not on. All for the fans to stick around and fucking watch. It's a ratings grab. It was just a fucking ploy. They were thrown for a loop by the ratings dipping so hard last week, and they were scrambling around like a bunch of chickens, and they said, well, what was our best thing going? Kofi Mania was the biggest thing going into WrestleMania. That was probably one of the better matches on the night. Let's do that again. And then they want to fucking say, oh, this is the first time the WWE Championship will be defended on a Monday Night Raw in years. Wrong! Does nobody else fucking remember him going one-on-one with Seth Rollins title for title just about 4 weeks ago? Wasn't the championship up for grabs then, morons? Talk about inconsistency. They need to hire a fucking better person to come up with the fucking consistencies on this show. They don't even remember what they do from one fucking day to the next. But the matchup itself, as you can expect, was good. These are 2 of the best guys in the business, best guys in the WWE today. I was not surprised that Kofi Kingston came out with the win. I did not expect him to give the belt immediately back to Daniel Bryan. And all it makes me really think of is what was the point of having this match? Just to have Daniel Bryan come back and in his first match back from injury again, lose to the WWE Champion. And where was Recycled Rowan? Was he not allowed? Was there a memo that went out that said certain superstars are not allowed to just randomly show up, but other people can just show up on a whim? Kofi Kingston defeats Daniel Bryan, and Monday Night Raw mercifully goes off the air. And you guys, there is really just way too much wrong with this show for me to be positive in any light. As good as that last match was, by the time we got to it, I was so fucking burnt out from all the fucking trash that I couldn't even enjoy. All I wanted to do was get to my desk and come here and tell you guys and rant to you guys about how fucking bad this show was tonight. Let me take one last peruse down the notes, make sure I didn't miss anything that I wanted to say to you guys, which I actually did not. There were a million ways you could have better spent your night tonight, and many of those ways you could see listed on my Twitter feed, because I was on a Twitter rampage tonight, and I don't want to just sit here and repeat all of those things, and it does give you guys a very good reason to go check me out on the Twitter. If you guys enjoy the Twitter, you can go and follow me there. I don't know why I just did that. It's at Nick Nightmare is the handle. Even more so, you can follow me on Instagram. One of the best Instagram pages around, because I give you guys my daily updates. I give you guys cool, fun shit. I don't just post pictures of myself and selfies and stupid shit. I give you guys updates about my gym progress. I give you guys my inside stuff from House of Glory, how I've been doing over there. And, of course, anything and everything wrestling related, which this is your home for, but Sledgehammer TV could also be your home for a great many other topics, such as Game of Thrones, which we have decided to start covering in its final season, and I definitely wish I didn't. I thought I was finally going to be able to come up here with you guys and tell you guys some good shit. But I can't. They have ruined this show as well. And if you want to know why that is, all you got to do is check out the latest Game of Thrones review and reactions. As you see there, what I think about it. That show fucking sucked, and I don't think it's going to get any better. So it has a lot in common with Monday Night Raw. And instead of watching Monday Night Raw, you could have spent your time watching the men's Money in the Bank ladder match simulation that I put up yesterday. If you guys missed it, it is there live on the channel right now. It is 20 minutes of me calling the action, and it has an ending that you need to see to believe. It is a fun watch, so if you haven't gotten your eyes over there yet, go check it out right now. It was a lot of work, and it was a lot of fun, and I will be bringing you guys a lot more of that as long as you like it, and you need to let me know in order for that to happen. So make sure on this video, and that video, and the Game of Thrones video, and every video, you guys smash that like button if you enjoyed anything we did here today and anything we do on any video that we do. Share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world, as Sledgehammer TV is going crazy right now. We are bringing back Hammer in Hollywood, so if you want to see my thoughts on the Avengers movie, you want to see more about my Game of Thrones coverage, and we are going to be covering more and more in the entertainment realm as Sledgehammer TV is expanding beyond the world of professional wrestling, because I'm looking for something to be positive about, but people are not giving me a lot to work with. I wasn't nice to the Avengers, just like I was not nice to Game of Thrones, and just like we will continue to not be nice to Monday Night Raw every single week. And the most important way you can go about not missing any of these things is to subscribe. And if you are still sitting here with me at 52 minutes exactly, then I know I did something right and that you had a good time here on Sledgehammer TV today, so you deserve to become one of the newest members of the Sledgehead Army, my family here that we are growing at the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show and Sledgehammer TV at large. Subscribe right now. Become one of the over 1,400 people on the planet Earth that knows that when you want your wrestling and entertainment news bullshit-free, full of love, full of fun, and full of vicious hammerings, I got you covered, and this is the place to be. Thank you guys so much for being with me here tonight. I am exhausted. It is time to wrap this shit up because there's not much more we could say, and I want to just say thank you all. I love you so very much for all the support you continue to show, and I can't ever thank you guys enough. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is the team, Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. His tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue, the Snowball microphone, and the most important member of the team, as always, is each and every one of you. Thank you once again. That, my friends, is going to do it, and we are out of here. And we will see you next time right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com. Boom.
WildCard, bitches!